The fluorescent lights of the hospital room pulsed against my eyelids as I drifted in and out of consciousness. 3 broken ribs, a fractured wrist, and a concussion. All because my sister Emma couldn't handle me succeeding where she had failed. I'm Sarah Mitchell, and 12 hours ago, I was standing at the top of Turner and Associates' central staircase, clutching the email that announced my promotion to senior marketing director, the same position Emma had been pursuing for the past 5 years. Miss Mitchell, a nurse adjusted my IV. The police are here to take your statement. I nodded weakly, wincing at the movement. The detective pulled up a chair, his notepad ready. Tell me what happened before the fall. Before the fall. Such a gentle way to describe being violently pushed down 3 flights of stairs by my own sister. I closed my eyes, remembering how it unfolded. The office was nearly empty at 7 p.m. when the announcement email arrived. I'd stayed late finalizing the Johnson account, the campaign that ultimately secured my promotion. Emma's office light was still on across the hall. My phone buzzed with congratulatory messages from the team. That's when I heard the sharp click of her heels approaching. Already celebrating, little sister. Emma's voice was razor sharp. She stood in my doorway, her usually perfect hair disheveled. Emma, I was going to tell you. Tell me what? She stepped closer. How you swooped in and stole my client, my promotion, my future. The Johnson account was assigned to me after your team missed 2 deadlines. I explained, trying to keep my voice calm. Mr. Turner made that decision, not me. 5 years, she hissed. I've worked here for 5 years longer than you. I trained you. I brought you into this company, and I'm grateful, but grateful. She laughed, a sound that sent chills down my spine. You're just like all the others, climbing over me to get ahead. I stood up slowly, sensing something dangerous in her eyes. Emma, you're my sister. Your success is my success. Stop lying. She grabbed my laptop, hurling it against the wall. You stole everything from me. I backed toward the door, but she was faster. As I reached the staircase, her hands connected with my shoulders. You want it all? She screamed. Then fall for it. The push was violent, deliberate. I remember the horrifying moment of weightlessness, then the brutal impact of stairs against flesh and bone. Each bounce brought new pain until darkness claimed me. Security cameras caught everything, the detective said, breaking into my memories. Your sister is in custody. My phone lit up on the bedside table. Through blurred vision, I saw Mr. Turner's name. There's something else you should know, he wrote. During the investigation, we discovered irregularities in Emma's past reports. She's been falsifying client data for years. The Johnson account wasn't the first time. The message continued, but my hands were shaking too much to hold the phone. A nurse picked it up as it slipped from my grasp. Should I read it to you? She asked gently. I nodded, my throat tight. We've launched a full audit. Preliminary findings suggest she's been taking credit for other team members' work and manipulating performance metrics. The board is pressing charges for corporate fraud. The words echoed in my spinning head. All those years of Emma's perfect record, her stellar performance reviews, her rapid rise through the ranks, it had all been built on lies. One more thing, the nurse read. The promotion announcement wasn't just about the Johnson account. We've known about Emma's activities for months. We needed someone with integrity to clean up her department. You were chosen because you were honest when you discovered discrepancies in her reports last quarter. I remembered that day, finding errors in Emma's presentations, bringing them to her attention privately, believing her when she called them simple mistakes. But they weren't mistakes at all. The detective stood, tucking away his notepad. We'll need a formal statement when you're stronger. Your sister is facing assault charges, and with these new fraud allegations, he didn't need to finish. Emma's career wasn't just stalled, it was over. My phone buzzed again. A text from Emma, sent from the police station. You ruined everything. No, I thought as another wave of pain washed over me. You did that yourself, sister. The nurse adjusted my morphine drip as tears slid down my face. Not tears of pain, but of realization. My sister hadn't just tried to kill me. She'd been killing her own career for years with every lie, every manipulation, every fraudulent report. And now, as I lay broken in a hospital bed, the truth was finally breaking her. 3 days after my fall, the hospital room felt like a command center. Detectives, corporate investigators, and HR representatives filed in and out, each revealing new layers of Emma's deception. Look at this, said Diana Reeves, Turner and Associates head of internal audit, spreading documents across my adjustable bed tray. Your sister didn't just falsify reports, she sabotaged other team members' campaigns to make herself look better. The evidence was devastating. deleted client emails, altered presentation dates, changed campaign metrics. For 5 years, Emma had maintained her stellar reputation by destroying others' work. My phone lit up with a message from our parents. Emma's asking for you. Please, Sarah, she's still your sister. Still my sister. The bruises covering my body argued otherwise. Miss Mitchell, Diana touched my good hand gently. There's something else. Remember the Peterson account from last year? How could I forget? 3 junior associates had been fired over that disaster. A $2 million campaign, completely derailed. We found this in Emma's private server. Diana handed me a tablet. Emails between Emma and a competitor, deliberately leaking strategy details. She sabotaged her own team to eliminate threats to her position. My stomach churned. Those junior associates, fresh graduates with promising careers, had their reputations destroyed, all because my sister couldn't stand potential competition. Sarah, Mom appeared in the doorway, looking older than I'd ever seen her. Can we talk? Diana packed up her files, leaving us alone. Mom sat heavily in the visitor's chair, her hands twisting in her lap. They're saying terrible things about Emma, she whispered, that she's been hurting people's careers, that she tried to kill you. It can't be true. I touched my ribs, each breath a reminder of the truth. Security cameras don't lie, Mom. Neither do audit trails. But she's your sister. She helped you get this job. No, I said firmly. She hired me to control me, to have someone she thought she could manipulate. But when I started succeeding on my own merit, she snapped. Dad's voice came from the doorway. Unlike Mom, his face showed anger, not denial. Just like she snapped in college when her roommate got the internship she wanted. Remember that mysterious accident, Helen? Mom paled. That was different, was it? Dad approached my bed, carefully taking my injured hand. Our daughter tried to kill her sister over a promotion she didn't deserve, based on a career built on lies. My phone buzzed again. A message from Tom Peterson, one of the fired junior associates. Just heard about Emma. Thank you for uncovering the truth. My new agency wants to talk to you about the real story. The board is meeting tomorrow, Dad said, reading over my shoulder. They're not just firing her, they're pressing criminal charges. Corporate fraud, assault, conspiracy. She needs us, Mom protested. No, I said quietly. She needs consequences. A soft knock interrupted us. Mr. Turner himself stood in the doorway, looking grave. Sarah, I owe you an apology, he said, entering the room. We suspected Emma's activities for months, but couldn't prove anything. When you started finding discrepancies, you gave me the Johnson account as a test. I finished. He nodded. We needed to see if you'd maintain your integrity, even when it meant challenging your sister. You did. That's why you got the promotion. And that's why she tried to kill me. The board has reviewed everything, he continued. We're reinstating those junior associates with back pay and apologies. As for your position, he smiled slightly. When you're recovered, we'd like to promote you again. Director of Ethics and Compliance. Mom gasped. Dad squeezed my hand. My phone lit up one more time. Another text from Emma. I hate you. I hope you're happy with what you've done. I handed the phone to Dad. Block her number, please. As he did so, Diana returned with more files. The police need to review these with you. Evidence of previous incidents. I thought of Emma's roommate in college, the mysterious fall that ended her internship chances. How many others had my sister hurt on her climb to the top? I'll help, I said firmly. Everyone needs to know the truth. Mom fled the room crying. Dad stayed, his face set with determination. The truth was unraveling Emma's carefully constructed world, one revelation at a time. She hadn't just fallen from grace, she jumped, dragging me down with her. But I had survived the fall. And now, from my hospital bed, I would make sure justice did too. 2 months later, I stood outside the courthouse, leaning slightly on my cane. My physical injuries were healing, but some scars would remain, both visible and invisible. Today was Emma's sentencing, and the media circus had reached its peak. Miss Mitchell, reporters called out, how do you feel about your sister's plea deal? I ignored them, making my way inside with Dad's support. Mom hadn't come. She'd chosen to stay home, still unable to accept the reality of her eldest daughter's crimes. The courtroom was packed. I recognized faces from the office, including the reinstated junior associates. Tom Peterson nodded at me from his seat, the vindication of his restored reputation evident in his posture. Emma sat at the defendant's table, her designer suit replaced by simple business wear, her perfectly maintained appearance now showing cracks. She didn't look at me as I entered. "All rise," the bailiff called. Judge Martinez took her seat, reviewing the papers before her. "In the case of the state versus Emma Mitchell, this court has reviewed the plea agreement. The defendant has pleaded guilty to attempted murder, corporate fraud, and conspiracy charges." I felt Dad's hand tighten on mine as the judge continued. "The evidence presented shows a disturbing pattern of behavior spanning several years. Miss Mitchell, you didn't just attempt to kill your sister, you systematically destroyed careers, manipulated data, and betrayed the trust of your employers and colleagues." Emma's shoulders stiffened, but she remained silent. "Before I pronounce sentence, does the defendant wish to make a statement?" Emma stood slowly. For the first time, she turned to face me. Her voice cracked. "I had to be the best, had to prove I deserved everything I got. When Sarah started succeeding honestly, it showed everyone what I really was, a fraud." She paused, tears falling. "I couldn't let that happen. I couldn't be the failure. So I pushed her down, like I'd pushed down everyone else who threatened my position. I'm sorry." But I saw it in her eyes. She wasn't sorry for what she'd done. She was sorry she got caught. Judge Martinez seemed to see it too. "Miss Mitchell, your actions show a calculated pattern of destruction. This court sentences you to 12 years in state prison, 7 for the attempted murder of your sister, 5 for the corporate fraud charges. Additionally, you are ordered to pay restitution to all affected parties." The gavel fell with finality. As they led Emma away, she looked back one last time. "Sarah," she called out. I turned away. Outside the courthouse, Mr. Turner waited with Diana Reeves. "The ethics committee meeting is next week," he said. "We want you to lead the reform of our corporate culture. Your experience, your integrity, it's exactly what we need." I nodded, thinking of all the changes already implemented. New oversight protocols, anonymous reporting systems, protection for whistleblowers. "The Peterson account," I asked. "Reinstated with full apologies," Diana confirmed. "All 3 junior associates have accepted our offer to return. They want to work with you." My phone buzzed. "Mom, finally. I visited Emma today. She told me everything. I'm sorry I didn't believe you sooner. Can we talk?" Dad read the message over my shoulder. "Your mother's finally facing reality. It's time for healing. For all of us." Back at the office, I stood at the top of the same staircase, where Emma had tried to end my life. The police tape was long gone, but employees still gave those stairs a wide berth. "Miss Mitchell," my new assistant approached carefully. "The ethics training materials are ready for your review." I took the files, remembering Emma's old office across the hall, now converted into a conference room named Integrity Suite. A reminder of what happens when ambition overshadows ethics. "Also," she added, "the business journals are calling. They want your story, how corporate ethics saved my life." I smiled slightly. "Tell them I'll share it, but not just my story. Everyone affected by Emma deserves to be heard." That evening, as I packed up my new office, Director of Ethics and Compliance, I found an old photo in my desk. Emma and me at my college graduation, both smiling, both full of promise. I dropped it in the shredder. Some family bonds, once broken by betrayal, can't be repaired. But from those broken pieces, we can build something stronger. A foundation of truth, integrity, and justice. My phone buzzed one final time. The prison warden. "Your sister requests regular visits." I deleted the message without responding. Emma had made her choices, and now we would both live with them. Her in a prison cell, me in an office devoted to preventing others from following her path. The truth hadn't just destroyed her career, it had given me purpose, and that was the greatest justice of all. The end.